So I'm currently behind the wheel of the 2025 Genesis GV80 Coupe, and I'm going to take some time to go through the interior of this thing. But before I do, please like this video and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. To start, as I normally do, from left to right. Over on the left, you've got your window switches right here. You've got your door locks. You've got a toggle for the rear mirror adjust. You've got 3 buttons right here for the driver seating position. So you have 2 different settings you can set, and then the set button for that. Your door latch. You have the Bang Olufsen surround sound audio system sprinkled throughout the cabin. To the right of that, you have a button for the lowering and raising the brightness of the gauge cluster. You have a hill assist button right here, traction control off. You have a button right here for the rear hatch. Then you have a parking brake latch right here. And right here you get your first look at some of the carbon fiber accents sprinkled through the cabin. I'll give you a better look at the passenger side as well as on the center console when I get to it. Then you have the full crisp clear digital display. Now usually I do the gauge cluster, and then I do the steering wheel, and I go to the navigation screen, but I'm just going to pause for a second because the gauge cluster and the navigation screen are all one long panel. So some vehicles, it kind of breaks it up as 2 screens, making you think it's 2 screens, but it is one long screen. But you know, this side functions as a gauge cluster and that side functions as a navigation display. But you can see they're kind of very nicely merged together. So strictly with the gauge cluster for the moment, it's got a lot of different options you can adjust. So right now I kind of have a data screen on the center, but you can also kind of adjust the things on the right. So right now I have sensory refueling. I'm gonna go current trip. That's just mimicking what's in the center right now. Auto stop. Since last reset. Just gonna leave it on that. But then you can also kind of adjust through the different pages it's on. So it's just kind of vehicle assistance screen. You have a map on the center. And that kind of nice map going all the way across. So moving to the steering wheel, how I kind of adjusted some of that stuff is over on the left right here, you got this toggle up and down that can adjust pages in the center. This is kind of a multi-function button. You can, basically, it kind of alerts you what you can use it for. So if I'm like hovering over it for a second, you see how it says okay. You can push it twice to reset or just scroll. That's how you kind of use that. You got a favorites button over on the right. Right here is a custom button. So pushing that pops you into the custom button screen. So you can make this whatever you want. Just gonna go back to home so I can kind of show you what everything is on the home screen. You got your cruise control options and lane assist over on the left. On the right, you got volume controlled, and then your cell phone options. And this also functions if you want to change whatever channel you're listening to or song you're listening to. On the back of the steering wheel are paddles for shifting your own gears. Down on the left, up on the right. Give you a better look at the steering wheel. The engine start stop button tucked right here behind the steering wheel. Now let's go to the gauge cluster. So like I said, all one long panel, but it's gonna kind of have the screensaver mode to start, and then you can see at the bottom it's kind of got 5 pages, right? So screensaver mode, as I call it, is the first one. You swipe over, you're on a second one, and this is where the app bubbles basically start. So you have your map, you have whatever you're listening to on a radio, so currently Sirius XM, destination if you set that, phone projection. If you connect Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, it's pops up right here. Regular, just old phone right next to that. Setup, let's go into setup for a second because you can adjust different things like drive mode. There's a custom drive mode you can adjust as well. Let's go in there real fast. So you got driver assistance, drive mode, you got the My Drive mode, and you can adjust that. Active sound design. You got largest change, moderate change, smallest change. Heads up display. Never really comes through on the camera, but I guess right now you kind of see it right there. It's always better visually appealing to the eyes. You show it on camera, it's like that's all you get. But trust me, it's, you know, pretty solid. Heads up display, gauge cluster. You can adjust whatever you want. Lights, door, digital key, you name it, you got it. Navigation settings, sound settings, device connections. So you can kind of adjust, you know, what phone you want to connect to this. User profile, and the user profile is unique because when I get to the center console, there's some something different in this vehicle compared to other vehicles. Voice recognition, screen time, layout, display, the button, touchpad, data network. You can have Wi-Fi through the car, and then just general stuff. So that was that setup. You got 3D setup, voice memo, media, Amazon Music, HD radio data, climate controls. There are climate controls down low. That's just some other spot. Mood curator. Let's just go in there for a second. You can adjust a nice, unique situation, I guess, if you want the ambiance. Seat, quiet mode, connected services, valet mode. You got Genesis Pay. You can add your card to it. Notifications and a manual, but there's a manual in the glove box as well. Just put it back on that screen. You got that carbon fiber that I was mentioning sprinkled throughout the dash. Then coming down from there, you have some buttons that'll kind of like favorites buttons will pop you straight into some things like map, nav, radio, media will pop you straight into map, radio, media. You also have favorites star right here, setup, hazard button right here, volume control on the left, tuner knob on the right. Then you have all the HVAC controls. The temperature is controlled by these. Everything else is a button, and there's also kind of a scent, 3 levels of that can sprinkle out. I believe it's changed behind the glove box, kind of where the air filter is of the cabin. Coming down from there, you have this little door right here, which will reveal some plugs and a charging spot. So you have 2 USB C plugs. You have an old school 12-volt smoker's plug, as I say, and then this just showcases that this is a charging pad. Coming back from there, you have the control for the media screen as well. So if you don't want to do the touch screen stuff, you can control this. You can also finger draw different gestures, and it'll do something on the screen. And this right here is a fingerprint reader for certain situations. Like I believe for the Genesis Pay, if you want to pay for something through the car, put your fingerprint on there, kind of prove that you're who you are, not getting hacked or something through your car. Then you have the gear lever, which is not a lever, it's a nice little toggle. So you got reverse, neutral, and drive operable by turning, twisting this, and then you have park is a button in the center. You also have an auto hold button for when you're at a stoplight and you want to save your right foot and stretch it out. To the right of that, you've got 2 cup holders. Coming back from there, you've got this little toggle surrounded by some buttons. So it's the drive mode selector. So starting all the way at the top, you have Eco, which has that kind of greenish hue. You have Comfort, you have Sport, you have Sport Plus, which turns traction control off. It's not going to come through on the camera, but it kind of livens up the engine a little bit. You have the My Drive mode, which when you select that, you can easily pop into the settings for that and adjust the powertrain, steering, and the suspension for whatever you want. And you also have a snow mode in the vehicle. So along with that drive mode button, you have a camera button, so pushing that. Showcase around the vehicle. I'm currently in a school parking lot. You can see the school from this camera view. I'm just kind of sitting across some lines. There's some trees on the side. You have some parking sensors over here. You have the all-wheel drive lock right here and the auto start stop button as well. Right here you got your armrest, which is split. So you're pushing this. Reveals not that much space. You can probably stack 4 iPhones high, a little bit wider. So one of the long, tall iPhones. Then you got the passenger side, like I said, that nice carbon fiber sprinkled through. And I did forget to mention, it's kind of all, the carbon fiber is basically the whole design of the center console as well, including this door right here. You have the glove box. I got a nice little media placard in there. You won't have that, but give you a better look at the passenger door, which does have that carbon fiber sprinkled through. Unique, nice red seat belts. The design of the seats, you can control the seats from the driver's seat, which is nice. You got a friend coming in and you're like, oh, reach down there, it's somewhere over there. You can just do it for them. Or if you got a kid and you need them to make some room for a passenger, you got the back seat. So I'm gonna hop in the back seat just to give a better view from back there. But before I do, please like this video and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. So now we're in the back seat. So from the back seat. You can also control those controls there. You've got different plugs, so this one is hidden for a second. So you have 2 USB-C plugs. You have an AC plug right here as well. Temperature controls for the cabin back here. You have heated and ventilated seats for both. I did forget to mention that, you know, part of all those HVAC buttons up front, there are 3 levels of heated ventilated seats for both the driver and the passenger. But uniquely, which is, you know, popping in more vehicles, you get them for the rear as well. Yep, pretty good amount of room. So this is my son's car seat, and the seat is pretty far back, but you could still fit a adult back here. But I'm gonna pop up in the front seat again and give you a kind of final. So we're back up in the front. So up top, you got different lighting options. The front and the rear share a sunroof, so those controls are up here. Got a nice little sunglass holder as well. So right now I have the kind of camera rear view mirror set on, but you know, this is standard rear view mirror, so whatever you see inside the vehicle, you flip that down and you're kind of just seeing what's behind the vehicle. It's good if you got a lot of kids kind of distracting you back there, or if you're just hauling a lot of stuff, you can still see straight back through what's behind you. It's kind of a little weird when you do have a car that's, you know, in a normal distance behind you, because on this camera it'll show that they're like in your back seat pretty much. But other than that, it's a pretty good function to have. But that is basically the interior of the 2025 Genesis GV80 Coupe. If you have some questions on some buttons, some feature, when you should use a certain drive mode, be sure to leave them in the comments below and I will answer them for you. Right now my channel is not as big. I am the sole person on the channel, and I answer every comment that is respectful and not just some kind of spam. So you know, any question you have, I will answer it. And if you have not liked this video, subscribed to my channel yet, please comment on the video as well. Every little bit helps. Thanks for watching.